Hey everyone, Michael from the War Corgi YouTube channel, and I've had a number of people ask me to do a how to play Star Wars Legion video. Now obviously Star Wars Legion is a very complicated game, and I don't feel especially equipped to be able to do a video that covers all the nuances of how to play Star Wars Legion. That and the rulebook that comes with the game does a pretty good job of introducing new players on the basics of how to play. What I thought I would do instead is go over some of the common play mistakes that we here make at the channel, or I see new players at my friendly local game store making, in order to kind of share those lessons learned, so hopefully when you're playing your games, you don't make those same mistakes. So stick with us as we go over some common mistakes in the movement phase. Movement is the only type of activation that you can do twice in one turn. So in this case, the Rebel Pathfinders are going to move out twice. And to do so, they're going to move at speed 1 because the river is going to be difficult terrain in this scenario, which will put them right into the river. And unlike, say, aim or dodge or attack, they can do this 2 times in one turn, again moving at speed 1 because of the river slowing them down, and then cohering their models, all within a legal speed 1 move of the unit leader. Most people know that when you move a unit, you only have to use the movement tool on the unit leader. He's the only one you measure from. But cohesion can be a bit tricky. So as this unit of Pathfinders moves up towards the rock, and I go to cohere them, having moved speed 2, I can only cohere them outside of the river, because before the game we decided that the river was difficult terrain and would slow the speed of any unit down by 1, making their normal speed 2 move speed 1. If I chose to instead move these Pathfinders so that some of them could go in the river, even though the unit leader does not go in the river himself, he would have to slow his speed down to a speed 1 move to allow for the other Pathfinders to get inside the river. Another rule to keep in mind when you're cohering your units is that it doesn't only have to be within the speed 1 measurement of the movement tool. It has to be an actual legal speed 1 move from the unit leader. So in this case, this Pathfinder on the other side of the wall, while within the measurement distance of a speed 1 move, does not actually fulfill the requirements because there's no way he could actually make that move going over the wall. So the closest he could come to that position is up here, and you could not actually place him on the other side of the wall. So it has to be a legal speed 1 move from the unit leader, not just be in range of a speed 1 movement tool. The difference between climbing and clamoring can confuse some new players, but the differences between the two is that a climb takes both actions in a unit's activation, where a clamor only requires 1 action. However, clamoring can be much more dangerous. In this case, a clone sergeant is in contact with a building that is under height 1, but more than the height of the mini. If he wishes to ascend to the top of the building, he has the choice of either climbing with his squad, which will take the action, both actions of the unit, and will then end their turn, or he can choose to clamor. When that unit clamors, it only takes 1 of the 2 actions, but it puts the squad in peril. In this case, they have to roll a white dice for each member of the unit, and any shields rolled are taken as wounds. In this case, 3 shields rolled means 3 clones are removed from the squad. Now it is up to the owning player to determine which units will be removed after the dice roll. The same would apply for any sort of character without the jump rule. In this case, Jyn Erso will be scaling up to the top, and she's going to clamor in order to do this. So she only takes 1 action. As it's just 1 model, she just rolls 1 dice. And as it's a blank, she gets up there without any hindrance or injuries and is able to take a second action of her choice. The only way to scale to the top of a building that's more than height 1 and less than height 2 is to clamor. In this case, it'll take 2 actions. 1 action is the clamor to the mid-level, and then 1 all the way up to the top. Both those clamor actions require the model to roll a dice, and again, any shields will result in an injury. In this case, Jen rolled 2 blanks, so she's not injured at all. Some units have special rules, such as this unit of Wookiee warriors. Their rule as expert climber allows them to clamber without having to roll a dice, but it will still take them both actions to clamber up to this high tower. The only difference is, when they do so, no rolls are made, and the Wookiees are safe, ready for the next turn with this advantageous position. Jump allows a model to move up onto or over buildings. They can use jump 1 time during their turn, and it will tell you how high that model can jump up. In this case, Boba Fett can jump up to range 2. This building right here is higher than range 1, but less than range 2, making a legal move for Boba Fett to jump up here. Now you would use the movement tool to make sure he has enough distance, but Boba Fett has plenty of distance to make that move. Jump can also allow your mini to move down off of high buildings or hills or anything over height range 1 or 2 without having to clamber. So in this case, it's still over height 1, and Luke has jump 1. But unlike moving up, moving down is much easier. You don't have to worry about the limitations of the jump rule as long as the model can indeed jump. So in this case, Luke Skywalker with jump 1 can use the movement tool and jump all the way down 2 levels without having to clamber, moving his full distance and into the unit of shore troopers over there. So that's it, some of the more common mistakes that you might see new players or even old players make in the movement phase. If you have any other ideas about common mistakes players might make, please put them in the comments below so we can all learn and grow as a community. In the future, you can look forward to more short little reports like this in other phases such as movement and melee. So, with that, I'd like to thank you for your time and look forward to reading your comments after this video ends. Bye-bye.
Arwen, you so pretty. Look how pretty Arwen is. Smile, baby.